Welcome to Hollywood Echoes, where we uncover the most shocking, bizarre, and unbelievable truths hidden behind Tinseltown's glitz and glamour. From legendary scandals to jaw-dropping revelations, we bring you the real stories behind the biggest Hollywood rumors. If you love the drama, the secrets, and the untold truths, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because you won't want to miss what we have in store. Walt Disney's frozen body. Myth one of the most persistent urban legends about Walt Disney is the claim that his body was cryogenically frozen after his death in 1966. According to the story, Disney was fascinated by the idea of immortality and arranged for his body to be preserved in ice, waiting for a future cure. Some variations of the rumor even suggest that his remains were hidden beneath Disneyland in California. However, there is no evidence to support this claim. In reality, Walt Disney was cremated 2 days after his death, and his ashes were interred at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale. The myth likely arose from Disney's interest in futuristic technology and science fiction, as well as the secrecy surrounding his funeral. Despite repeated denials from his family and company representatives, the legend continues to capture public imagination, blending the magic of Disney with the mystery of the unknown. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's on-set romance. The love story between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie began in 2004 on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, a steamy action film where they played a married couple caught in a web of espionage. Their undeniable chemistry sparked rumors of an off-screen romance, though Pitt was still married to Jennifer Aniston at the time. Despite denying any infidelity, Pitt and Aniston divorced in early 2005, and shortly after, Pitt was publicly seen with Jolie. Their relationship quickly became one of Hollywood's most famous, leading to marriage and 6 children. They built an empire together, engaging in humanitarian efforts and co-starring in films. However, their fairy tale ended in 2016 when Jolie filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. The split became one of the most talked about breakups in Hollywood, with allegations of domestic issues, custody battles, and legal disputes dragging on for years. Though their love story began in passion and intrigue, it ultimately ended in heartbreak, proving that even Hollywood's most glamorous couples are not immune to turmoil. Marilyn Monroe and the Kennedy family. Marilyn Monroe's connections to President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert Kennedy remain one of the most controversial and debated topics in Hollywood history. Monroe was rumored to have had affairs with both men, particularly JFK, with whom she allegedly shared a passionate yet brief romance. The speculation gained traction after her sultry performance of Happy Birthday, Mr. President in 1962. Some theories even suggest that Monroe knew sensitive political secrets and was silenced to protect the Kennedy family's reputation. Her sudden death later that year from an apparent overdose only fueled suspicions of foul play. While there is no conclusive evidence proving a deep political conspiracy, FBI files and witness testimonies indicate that Monroe did have significant interactions with the Kennedy brothers. Whether she was a casualty of power struggles or simply an unfortunate victim of fame, her connection to one of America's most powerful families remains a subject of endless intrigue. Rock Hudson's true sexual identity. For decades, Rock Hudson was Hollywood's leading man, embodying the image of the perfect heartthrob. However, behind the scenes, he was hiding a secret that could have ended his career at the time. He was gay. Hudson lived in an era when being openly homosexual was considered career suicide, especially for leading actors in the romantic genre. To maintain his public image, he entered a brief marriage with Phyllis Gates, his agent's secretary, though many believe it was arranged for appearances. The truth about Hudson's sexuality only became public when he was diagnosed with AIDS in 1984, making him one of the first major celebrities to bring attention to the disease. His illness forced the media and the entertainment industry to confront issues of homosexuality and HIV/AIDS, forever changing public discourse. Hudson's courage in his final days helped humanize the crisis, making him an unexpected pioneer in LGBTQ+ history. Charlie Chaplin and the FBI. Despite his comedic genius and global fame, Charlie Chaplin was considered a threat by the US government. The FBI, under the direction of J. Edgar Hoover, suspected Chaplin of having communist sympathies due to his outspoken political views and social activism. During the height of the Red Scare, Chaplin was subjected to intense surveillance, wiretaps, and even accusations of immoral behavior. In 1952, while traveling to Europe for the premiere of his film Limelight, Chaplin's US re-entry permit was revoked, effectively exiling him from the country he had helped entertain for decades. He eventually settled in Switzerland, only returning to America briefly in 1972 to receive an honorary Academy Award. The FBI's obsession with Chaplin illustrates how even the brightest stars were not immune to political paranoia. His legacy, however, remains untarnished, and he is remembered not as a political enemy, but as one of the greatest filmmakers in history. Judy Garland's Mistreatment on The Wizard of Oz. Judy Garland's journey to stardom came at a great personal cost, especially during the filming of The Wizard of Oz. At just 16, she was placed under the harsh control of MGM executives who dictated every aspect of her life, from her diet to her social interactions. Studio heads believed she wasn't thin enough for the role of Dorothy, forcing her onto a strict regimen of diet pills, cigarettes, and coffee. They also limited her food intake, sometimes allowing only a bowl of soup. The emotional toll was immense. Garland was frequently belittled by executives and allegedly mistreated by certain cast members, including the actors playing the Munchkins, who she later claimed harassed her on set. The intense workload and pressure to maintain an impossible standard of perfection contributed to lifelong struggles with addiction and self-doubt. Though she went on to become a legendary performer, her early mistreatment set the stage for a life filled with personal turmoil and tragedy. Arnold Schwarzenegger's affair with his housekeeper. The world was shocked when Arnold Schwarzenegger's long-kept secret came to light in 2011. He had fathered a child with his housekeeper, Mildred Boehner, while still married to Maria Shriver. The affair, which had occurred in the late 1990s, remained hidden for over a decade until Shriver confronted Schwarzenegger after noticing the striking resemblance between their household staff member's son and her husband. The revelation led to the collapse of their 25-year marriage and a media frenzy that put Schwarzenegger's personal life under intense scrutiny. Despite the scandal, the former bodybuilder-turned-actor-turned-governor took responsibility for his actions, acknowledging his son, Joseph Boehner, and forming a close bond with him over the years. While the affair was a major stain on his reputation, Schwarzenegger has since managed to regain public favor, focusing on his career and philanthropic efforts, proving once again his ability to reinvent himself despite controversy. Ellen DeGeneres' allegations of workplace toxicity. For years, Ellen DeGeneres was seen as the embodiment of kindness and positivity, with her talk show becoming a symbol of warmth and inclusivity. However, in 2020, multiple former employees spoke out about a toxic work environment behind the scenes, describing a culture of fear, verbal abuse, and intimidation by senior staff members. Reports suggested that DeGeneres herself was distant and unapproachable, contradicting her friendly on-screen persona. The backlash was swift and severe, leading to an internal investigation and a public apology from DeGeneres, who admitted that she had not been aware of the extent of the issues. The controversy resulted in a ratings decline and ultimately led to the end of the Ellen DeGeneres Show in 2022. Though she remains a significant figure in entertainment, The revelations permanently altered her once flawless public image, serving as a reminder of how quickly reputations can shift in Hollywood. Tom Cruise and Scientology's control. Tom Cruise is not just Hollywood's most famous action star, he is also the most high-profile member of the Church of Scientology. Over the years, numerous reports and former church members have claimed that Scientology has an extraordinary level of influence over Cruise's personal and professional life. His marriages, particularly to Nicole Kidman and Katie Holmes, have been scrutinized for their alleged connections to the church. Some sources suggest that Kidman, whose father was a psychologist, a profession Scientology opposes, was seen as a threat, leading to the dissolution of their marriage. Holmes, too, reportedly left Cruise due to fears over their daughter's involvement with Scientology. Additionally, former Scientologists have claimed that Cruise is treated as near royalty within the church, with its leader, David Miscavige, reportedly micromanaging aspects of his life, including his relationships and career moves. Despite these persistent rumors, Cruise has remained unwaveringly loyal to Scientology, continuing to promote its beliefs while maintaining his position as one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Richard Gere's infamous rumor. Few Hollywood rumors have been as bizarre and persistent as the one involving Richard Gere and an alleged emergency room visit due to an unusual accident involving a small rodent. The story, which first surfaced in the late 1980s, claimed that Gere had been rushed to a hospital under embarrassing circumstances. Despite its absurdity, the rumor spread like wildfire, fueled by word of mouth and early internet gossip. There has never been a single credible report, medical record, or first-hand account to back up the claim, yet it remains one of Hollywood's most infamous urban legends. Gere himself has never publicly addressed the rumor in detail, likely to avoid giving it more attention. Many believe the story was fabricated as an act of sabotage, possibly by industry insiders or pranksters. Nevertheless, it remains a perfect example of how a completely false story can take on a life of its own in the world of celebrity gossip. And that's a wrap on today's Hollywood bombshells. Which of these rumors surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Tinseltown's biggest secrets, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow Hollywood enthusiasts. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the stories behind the spotlight. See you in the next one.